Hey everyone, Jun Kim here, CEO of Gym Over Everything. We're very excited to have a special guest today, the one and only Lisa Salters. She took the time out of her day, come sit down with us. She's an ESPN journalist for over 3 decades. She has a lot of experience under her belt, and she came here to tell her story, be able to pick her brains, and be able to share her experiences with us. Man, we're so grateful to have her here today, man. You guys don't understand how happy and excited I am. Let's go. Hello everyone, Jun Kim here, CEO of Gym Over Everything. We have a very special guest today. I'm very excited to have the one and only Lisa Salters.
I'm not sure what kind of knowledge you think I'm going to drop. But,
hey, it's always knowledge when it comes from someone that, you know, has been doing one thing and been dedicated to a craft for a very long time. You know, I know you've been doing it for, 3 decades now?
Yep.
From ABC to ESPN.
You didn't have to say that.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't make it, you know, want to sound old, but I mean.
I am old.
My apologies if I came off like that.
I'm old, I own it.
But a lot of people respect that. You know, a lot of people always move on one thing to another, but you know, you stayed committed to one thing.
That is one thing, June, that I am, you know, now that I'm kind of like on the back 9 of my career, that's one thing that I can look back on and appreciate is the longevity. You know, people that I started with in television have moved on to do other things. People who were hot in television last year, or you know, not at ESPN anymore, doing other things, whatever. So, you know, I may not have been the superstar that maybe some people have been, but I've been around for a long time. Like you said, three decades, 30 years doing TV.
Wow, that's amazing.
So I'm proud of that.
Yes, man. So, you know, a lot of people don't know that you're in the gym regularly. A lot of people, I'm sure, in the outside world don't see the commitment you make inside of the gym. Do you feel like health and wellness and fitness have a correlation to your everyday lifestyle? Yeah,
for me, you know, I used to play basketball as a kid and in school, and so just being in the gym and working out was it's just part of what I know how to do. That foundation was set a long time ago when I was playing ball at Penn State. Now I'm a mom. I have a toddler, or he's 6 years old now. So now I feel like I'm in the gym just so I can keep up with him. He's very energetic.
So that's a lot of energy right there.
Yeah, a lot of energy, and he conveniently falls asleep in the car. We're like 10 minutes from home, so I'm always lifting him up, putting him to bed, that kind of thing. But really, like a lot of, you know, what I try to do for my health is because I want to be as healthy and as strong as possible for him, and be around for as long as possible for him. But I mean, you would maybe not be surprised, but like for most of us, when we're on the road, everyone's part of our crew. Everybody, we don't work out together or anything like that, but everybody works out. It's just something to do too while you're on the road. You can't work all the time. You can't study all the time. So when you're in Chicago or Boston or LA or Atlanta or wherever, every hotel has a gym. So a lot of us just go kind of just to get away, do something else, clear our minds.
Of course. I mean, I feel like exercise is a huge factor in how you feel. And, the way you move, I mean, it's everything in life. I mean, if you're not moving and if you're not healthy, I mean, you can't do anything.
Yeah, so. And I like I told you, I recently broke 2 toes on my left foot, and the doctor was like, you can't do any exercise for 6 to 8 weeks. It's like, that's impossible. There's no way. Like,
I also know that, you know, you're very grounded and humble, but, you know, I really want the world to know that you put in a lot of work in the gym. You're very dedicated. I've seen you exercise, and you
I appreciate
do not play around.
I appreciate
do not play around, and you know.
I appreciate that. I generally am covered up, long sleeves, football and basketball, but when it's really hot, like in September for football, sometimes I'll go sleeveless, and my gosh, Twitter like loses its mind because I have arms, and they're like, oh my gosh, you have muscles. I'm like, I don't try to have muscles. I just try to stay in shape.
It's a lifestyle.
So
another great question, I think a lot of people who play team sports, do you take anything that you learned from playing in your collegiate days and playing basketball into your everyday life today?
Just kind of focus, resilience. A friend of mine said to me once when things weren't going well at work, like, man, you're so resilient, like you must get that from playing basketball. And I thought that's true, because as long as you're not telling me to line up and run suicides, I'm good. Like I can deal with, work stuff, but when you know how it is when you play a team sport or any sport and you have a coach who's making you run, do sprints and that kind of stuff. It just makes you mentally tough.
Yes.
So I feel that that sports background that I have definitely helps me just in the real world in life, just just being mentally tough,
I know,
being resilient.
Even in journalism, you still got to work as a team. I'm sure there's people who help each other so you guys can accomplish the project.
Absolutely, and I tell my boss all the time, I'm very coachable.
Yes.
So you tell me what your game plan is, and I will execute it.
Yes, that's the most important thing, right? Yeah. You hear it from athletes all the time. You're not coachable. No matter how talented you are, it's kind of hard to get to that next level. One thing, do you see yourself doing anything else besides journalism?
Nope. I've been doing it for 30 years. I'm about 10 years away from retirement, so what would I do now? No, I think that after I'm done working, I would like to run a foundation, do something like that.
Okay. Would that be here in Baltimore, or
I don't know.
Do you see yourself? I'm sure you're always traveling all the time.
Yeah, and I always, I'm asked a lot, with my colleagues, my coworkers, we always kind of sit around and talk. Where do you think you want to retire? Where do you think you want to retire? And I was like, I'm not sure. But I definitely want to be someplace warm. I think. I doubt that I'll retire here in Baltimore. It probably will be near a beach.
You worked hard. You deserve it.
Yeah. Baltimore. I love Baltimore, but I want to be near water.
Understood.
Yeah. And not just the Inner Harbor. So
water
that I can swim in.
Oh yeah, the Baltimore water is a little dirty here.
You don't want to go swim in that.
Yeah, you hear a lot of bad stories about Baltimore. Baltimore's not that bad though. It's great.
I love Baltimore.
I love Baltimore as well. A lot of people.
But when you say Baltimore, people think The Wire.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't live where The Wire is.
Yes, I was in California, and I remember someone I spoke to said they were actually watching The Wire when they were in high school, teaching kids about what's going on in Baltimore. But I'm like, that's
one part of every city.
Every city.
Every city.
I know, they just put this bad image on Baltimore, but Baltimore is a great place. If I didn't live here, I wouldn't have met Lisa Salters. So, I'm right. Life is. I'm great to be here in Baltimore. So when you started your career in journalism, was it a conscious decision to go into journalism, or was it something just by faith and luck, or mixture of things?
No, it definitely was a predetermined thing. When I was choosing a major, I knew I wanted to do journalism, and I wanted to do it for television. So I chose a broadcast option. Because there's print, you could do magazines, radio, yes. But I knew I wanted to do TV. And that was really just because of a mentor that I had, or someone, not even really a mentor because I didn't know her that well, but I got to know her. It was an anchor woman in Philadelphia, where I grew up, and my mom and dad would have the TV on and the news on every day, and I would see this African-American woman and think, I want to be like her.
It's inspiration.
When I grew up. And, I ended up not being like her because I'm not an anchor, but that was kind of why I wanted to get into television, is because I wanted to be like that woman. Her name was Lisa Thomas Laurie.
Okay.
I eventually did get to meet her, and,
I'm sure that was a great feeling.
For me, it was.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a great feeling, and we've kept in touch a little bit as well. She's kind of followed my career.
Okay. I'm sure you started.
I always give her credit for my desire to want to be in television. It was because I wanted to be like her.
Wow, that's amazing. We all always find that one person that we can find inspiration from, even though we never met that person. But usually that's always our source of, motivation. For me, it's kind of weird, but Jay-Z's my motivation. I know a lot of people find that weird, but just like his story.
Why Jay-Z?
That's the music I grew up on, the music I listen to, but not just Jay-Z. There's a lot of people, like entrepreneurs I look up to, like Damon John, I'm sure you, big FUBU guy. You know, his story makes a lot of sense. I feel like I could relate. You know, I run a clothing business, Gym Over Everything, so just starting from the ground level, selling t-shirts out of my trunk, I feel like I could relate to that. And having close friends support me just from the ground level. I never had like a celebrity or anybody like endorse me. I just always just, you know, built it from the ground level up. We also want to hold a platform for other athletes and mainly powerlifters and bodybuilders, because that's what we tailor towards. Give them a platform to be able to share their experience. Everyone sells clothing, but we want to make sure that when someone wears Gym Over Everything, I want them to feel proud. Like, man, like, this is who I represent. This is who I am. Like, for me, the gym changed my life. I met people at the gym who are very positive. People at the gym, I realize, are very upbeat. You know, everyone has something important in their life going on. People who come to the gym are very focused, and I took that and kind of ran with it, and I started to fall in love with the gym, and everyone at the gym, I realized, has helped me build my business. So that's why our name is called Gym Over Everything. It's very exciting to build a business, have people support you. That's the hardest thing in the world as a startup, starting from nothing, raising money. Just from working at a liquor store, me and my partner, we gathered a couple $1,000s together, started with, you know, 200 t-shirts sold 200 t-shirts, sold that, got a next order in for 500 t-shirts, and then the next order was 1,200 t-shirts. So that's actually our biggest order. But our brand is what we represent. So, you know, again, anyone could sell and print a t-shirt, but our branding, what we represent, is what we care about the most. I feel like our company is a feel-good company. When you wear Gym Over Everything, I want you to feel good. I want you to feel like this is something I'm proud of. And we built our business on that. I believe that people who work hard in the gym always will work hard outside of the gym. So we took that foundation and just built a business around it. This is one of my favorite questions. A lot of people underestimate books. Is there a book that you read that you like to share that changed your life, or is there a particular person that you already, you know, kind of told us about? But
a book that has changed my life? No.
Is it more human experience for you?
I mean, the Bible.
The Bible, I understand.
But I don't read a whole lot of like nonfiction. I was just telling a friend of mine the other day, she was like, did you read such and such, John Gordon or somebody? I was like, who's that? She's like, how do you, this author, he writes his self. I was like, I don't read self-help motivational books. I read fiction. So I'm into Dean Koontz, Stephen King. You know, I like just reading for fun.
Leisure.
Yeah, just for fun. A romance novel every now and again, although that's not really my jam, but like those books that you see, summertime reading, those are the kind of books I like to read. A book you can just sit you know, chill on.
I mean, I'm a huge fan of, you know, books, so I always ask that question.
Yeah, and I'm on planes a lot, so I like to just get away and not, you know, I'm not trying to. Maybe I should read more self-help books, but I feel like I'm good. If I need help, I'll get it. So when I'm chilled and relaxed, reading a book, I want it to be just for fun. So. Okay. So, if you could give one advice to someone, you know, coming up into the same industry as you, it doesn't even have to be the same industry. What's the best advice you could give somebody to overcome obstacles in your field of journalism? And what do you think is the biggest difference from your generation and today's generation coming up? The best advice that I would give somebody starting off their career now would be, in my field, would be to be a sponge, be coachable, be a sponge and learn as much as you can about television from as many different people as you can. Yes. You know, you get out of, you know, television is different because like when I graduated from college, my friends were all in business, finance, marketing, and you know, they had these great jobs paying a lot of money coming out of college. Well, that's not the way it happens in television. You have to start at the very bottom, making nothing, and work your way up. You know, so you hear like the hotshot marketing person. Well, there's no hotshot, you know, reporter when you're 22. Like, you don't know anything. And so don't come into the industry thinking that you know it all. You know nothing. You know absolutely nothing. Learn from the reporter, learn from the producer, learn from the cameraman, learn from the editor, learn from as many people as you can about all the different aspects of television. Because you'll be surprised at how much you don't know, how much school does not prepare you for.
Yes.
When you're out there in it, it's completely different. So be a sponge, learn as much as you can, leave your ego at the door. Maybe you could say that for every profession, just leave your ego at the door. Like, you're 22, you're not supposed to have it all figured out. It'll come. But I think a big difference between my generation and, say, yours is that everything is about you. Everything is about not you, but everything is about your brand and about, you standing out and all of that. And it's like, that seems challenging. That's why so many people are, unhappy. They feel like they don't stand out or no one sees them. Because this society has made it so important for you to stand out. You have to have people notice you. Well,
instant gratification as well.
Yeah, and it's like that really it's not the way for me. Like, I don't really care if anyone notices me or not. People say oh, you're not on TV enough. Well, they pay me the same, whether I'm on for 5 seconds or for 5 minutes. So I'm just interested about making the most of the touches that I do get.
Yes.
When you do an interview with an athlete, they turn the camera just to the athlete. I'm like, because that's what the viewer wants to see, the athlete. They don't need to see me standing there talking to the athlete. They know that I'm there. Like, oh, but you should be on more. That's not really all that interesting to me. I'm interested in what the athlete is saying, and am I eliciting the best out of him? Am I getting the most information out of him? It's not about, I keep telling people all the time, it's not about me. It's not about the reporter. It's about who we're interviewing. So I think that's a big difference between this generation and my generations, because now for the reporter wants to be seen. The reporter wants to be wants to have their brand and their shtick and all of that. And more power to you, but that's just kind of not how I was raised.
It's like crab in a barrel mentality. Everyone's just trying to make it on their own.
Yep, everyone's trying to make it.
What was the most accomplished project that that you're proud of, or do you feel like it's the greatest piece of work that you've done, or do you feel like it's a lot of different things?
A lot. I mean, in television?
Just one thing in particular, if it comes to mind, that on top of your head that you feel like is the most exciting thing that you've done?
I mean, the best thing I think I've ever done is become a mom. I adopted my son 6 years ago.
That's amazing.
He's 6 years old now. I mean, that to me is just the greatest, my greatest accomplishment is just being, as being a mom, and that's a daily, grind, trying to, make sure that he's being brought up the right way. And but I as proud as I am of my career, I mean, that is what I'm most proud of.
Well, Lisa, I appreciate you so much taking the time out of your day to come here. And
it's time to hit the gym now.
Time to work out.
Time to work out.
Time to work out.
Yep. So as far as exercise and how that helps me deal with day-to-day stress, it's a huge part for me. I know that you're giving me all these props for being in the gym all the time. I don't even like working out all that much, but I do it just because it's just a good way to just stay relaxed. My work especially can be overwhelming at times, and for me, just especially if I'm on the road, going into the gym, whether it's a hotel gym or finding a local gym, whatever, just getting into the gym, putting your music on, and just throwing some weight around is just a huge part of just taking your mind away from everything, even if it's just for 45 minutes or for an hour. And for me, I find if I'm relaxed and mentally fit, that I'm just way better at my job. When I'm stressed out, then I just start making bad decisions in all parts of my life. But if I'm kind of relaxed and the better shape that I'm in,
Yes.
I think the better work that I do, which is why I had to kind of change my routine up a little bit for football season. I wanted to try to figure out a way that I could still work out, even, so I go away usually on Saturdays for Monday night games and back on Tuesday. I was like trying to work out Saturday after practice, Sunday before the other team comes in, and then Monday morning before the game, and that was too much. I realized that I was too tired Monday during the game. So now I just work out Saturday, Sunday. I take Mondays off and just do the game because I'm up till like midnight, 1 o'clock.
Even though you say you didn't like doing it, you still do it.
I still do it because, and I guess saying I don't like it is probably not true because I probably wouldn't do it if I didn't like it. But I'm used to it. It makes me feel strong, and I don't, I don't lift a lot. I mean, I'm not trying to, be a CrossFit champion or anything like that. But it just makes me feel strong, and when I feel strong, I feel confident.
Yes.
And so for me, working out, the better shape that I'm in, the more confident that I'm in. Life has a way of humbling you. So for me, I just, my motto is don't believe the hype. You are never as good and you're never as bad as people say you are.
That's true.
So those evil demons like Twitter and Instagram and all those things, I just try to avoid it because 20 people can tell me how great I am, and it's that one jerk who says that I suck that it's just gonna bug me forever. So I just try to just stay away from all that and realize I know when I had a good game, I know if I had a bad game. So I don't really need people to tell me.
You're your biggest critic, right?
So that's why I just kind of, and everybody's just, there's no difference between my job, your job, DJ's job. I mean, everybody's, everybody wants to do their job well.
Yes.
But unfortunately for me, it's like people see my job and they feel like they can put me on blast if I had a bad day or whatever. But everybody has everybody's job is important to them. So, and everybody knows when they did their job well or when they left a little out there that they want to, do better.
Yes.
So I don't see myself as being any different than anybody else. I'm just trying to do my job well, like you're trying to do yours, like everybody else is trying to do their job well.
Yes.
Or I hope anyway. I hope that people are have a pride in their work. And for people who don't have pride in their work and really are that's what I feel badly for people who go to who don't like their jobs. Like that would be awful to go to work every day.
That's a lot of people in the world,
that's a lot
right?
of people
in the entire
who don't love their jobs, and that's what I'm most fortunate for. And so for that reason alone, that I'm able to do a job that I love every day, I'm just grateful for that. That keeps me humble as well.
Yes.
Who do I think is going to win the Super Bowl this year? Well, I hope it's the Eagles. That's my I roll with the Eagles. I'm a Carson Wentz fan, but I was a Nick Foles fan too, so I was very disappointed that I knew we couldn't keep both, but I was disappointed that St. Nick had to go. Yeah, I don't see why the Eagles can't certainly be contenders. If Carson Wentz is healthy, who knows, whether he's healthy or not, though. But I'm fired up about the basketball season. I guess it's just because I just finished basketball, and free agency has been crazy, and I'm just looking forward to being out in LA a lot. I'm almost positive the schedule hasn't even come out yet, but I am positive that the Christmas Day game is going to be the Clippers versus the Lakers. And so I'm already planning oh, okay, I get to be in LA for Christmas. Do I bring my son with me? Do I bring my parents to watch my son? Do I just have him by myself? But the NBA season is going to be bananas. Of course, football's always bananas, but the NBA season is really going to be.
I feel like basketball has become such a big brand in general. The NBA itself is like.
It's doing well now. I think this past off season was great for the NBA. I think the Raptors winning was great for the NBA
because balanced out the whole league.
Yeah, and now I'm not happy that KD is hurt and that Clay is hurt, but making the teams more balanced and having there be more competition, that's going to be great for the league. You can't just pick who's going to win the West. You can't just pick now who's going to win the East. And for the last 4, 5, 6 years, we've been able to say when LeBron was in Cleveland, it's going to be the Cleveland, it's going to be the Warriors. When he was in Miami, it's going to be Miami. You know, it's going to be, you know.
It's too predictable. It's not even
right.
fun.
So now it's like there's some intrigue. Like, whoa, what's going to happen? The Houston's still good. Are Russell and James gonna?
I'm excited to watch. I mean, I love basketball.
Yeah, you just want to see.
I just want to see what's gonna play out.
Just want to see it play out.
So I'm right here. You know, I'm a Lakers fan, but I live here in Maryland, so I'm a Wizards fan as well. And I know the Wizards aren't doing too well this year. Well, you know, doesn't seem.
I heard
like
that
it.
the Heat were trying to get Bradley Beal and John Wall.
Oh Lord.
To play with Jimmy Butler. Like that would have been awesome.
Well, these tickets are going to be cheap. We can go watch.
Yeah, it wouldn't be good for Washington, but that would have been, you know, I was like, ooh, Miami. I'd like to go back to Miami again. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this upcoming football season.
Well, you know,
I want to see the Raiders. I want to see Antonio Brown in Oakland. I want to see how he does there. I want to see the quarterback for the Jets, Sam Darnold. I want to see, is he legit? Mitch Trubisky, I want to see, is he legit? These young quarterbacks, I want to see if they're for real or not. Patrick Mahomes, how can you not be excited to see?
It's like a video game.
I mean, that dude, I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that he's legit. Like, he was legit even before he got on the field. Andy Reid was telling us his rookie season when he was playing behind Alex Smith. He was telling us when we would go in for Chiefs games, wait till you see this kid next year. Wait, you just wait. He is ridiculous. And then, boom. I mean, we certainly didn't know MVP ridiculous, but he said all along, this kid is awesome. He could have played him his rookie year, didn't. He had a really good quarterback in Alex, but. I'm really excited to see Patrick Mahomes continue his career. And he's a good kid, too. Really humble, good kid. So you like to see players like that succeed.
Well, we're excited to see you know, be on TV and interviewing our favorite athletes. So, you know, that's always, I mean, again, I watched you since I was a young boy, you know, on TV, just interviewing all of our favorite athletes. So, again, it's a humbling experience just having you here. All right, so thank you, Lisa, taking the time out of your day to sit here with us.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Jim Over Everything fans, for tuning in. See you guys next time.